Special Step Off.
It's time for the main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is the one and only, I'm stretching it. Here we go. Tom Clark's main event. What's up, kids? I was almost there. I was that close. I didn't trust my instincts. I meant to drag out the first bit of my intro, and I did not trust my instincts. That's on me. It's all my fault. So there you go. How we feeling, kids? Happy Friday to you. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate you. I know what you're thinking. Tom, you look great. I know. It's all right. It's all right. I need a haircut. Can I be honest with you? I continue to be amazed at how much hair I have, and how every week I tend to talk about my hair. I'm so vain. Look at this beard, though, man. This thing's taking on a life of its own. It's like tendrils. You know what I mean? It's going to like reach out through the screen and just pull you in. I'm telling you, this thing's possessed at this point, dude. What's up, kids? Good to see you. Do me a favor, smash the like button there for me, if you will. If you've never seen the show before, what's up? I'm Tom. This is the main event. This is episode number 317. That's right, baby. 317 episodes ago, I decided to start a podcast. It was my first one ever, and I didn't know what to call it. And don't you know, there's like a 20 or 40 or 200 shows called The Main Event. But none of them are called Tom Clark's Main Event. So I'm like, you know what? I may as well brand this sucker. And I've been branding ever since. I've only got one show that's not branded with my name. But we'll get to that. So yeah, here we are. This is season 10 of the show. The podcast started in 2014. I also have two other shows, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, which is movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. If you will, please subscribe and download. All my content's free of charge. Check out the show. I think you'll enjoy it. And also, coming August 12th, the release date is official, and it is final. Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, premieres Saturday, August 12th. It coincides with the kickoff. Can I say kickoff? The season opener of the Premier League. That's right, kids. English football coming your way. If you are a fan of the Ted Lasso podcast, of the show, you will be a fan of the Ted Lasso podcast, I assure you. A lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy have gone into these shows. I assure you of that. There are 10 episodes in season 1 of Ted Lasso. We've recorded the first 8 episodes. We're going to record 9 and 10 coming up, and that sets us up like a couple weeks out from the premiere of the show. So if you will, Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, and also Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Once again, children, if you will, smash the like button and do me another favor, if you would. It'd be awesome if you would. Please share this feed on your Facebook page and on any other social platform that you so desire. By the way, who's on Blue Sky? Is anyone on Blue Sky? I thoroughly enjoy Blue Sky. Would you like to know why? Because it's not Twitter. Oh, I mean X. X gonna give it to you, right? Look me up on the Blue Sky, kids, under, get ready, Tom Clark. That's right. That's how new that platform is. I snagged my own name. I'm pretty happy about that. There's only a few platforms where I've got my actual name with no other. It's not predicated or anything with any other words. It's just Tom Clark. I think I'm on Hive at Tom Clark. I think there's only a couple platforms I managed to get my actual name. So there you go, kids. Please follow me. And guess what happens when you follow me on socials? Guess what happens? You get a cookie. You don't really get a cookie, but I'll follow you back. Wouldn't you want to have this creepy old dude stalking you everywhere you go, just like in the bushes? No, you wouldn't, would you? I've got, as I've told you before, my layout here in my office, I have 3 screens. I have 2 horizontal and 1 vertical. And this is my document screen right here. But I've got currently the G1 Climax on there. We're going to talk about that today because I'm so happy. I'm such a kid when it comes to Japanese wrestling. My happy place for me is the G1. Can't speak for anyone else here. Family, love, roses, yeah, whatever. But my real happy place is Japanese wrestling, G1 Climax. I'm not kidding. We're only 7 minutes in, and I'm feeling good. How's your week been, by the way? How's everyone's week been? We're getting ready to say some hellos. I'm waiting for that number to get 10 on the likes. There's 20 of you. I should have 20 likes. Don't none of y'all like my show? Am I not pretty enough? Am I not saying enough sweet things? Do I have to sweet talk you to get you to hit that like button? What do I got to do? What's a man got to do? That's going to say something crude, but I'm not going to. Do I take my shirt off? Is that what I have to do here? I got to put them on the glass? That's crude, isn't it? Hey, man, I'm not above doing what I got to do for a like, baby. You know what I mean? I got no shame. It's a great song. Any Brother Kane fans out there? That's going back a little bit. Not too far. In the 90s. It's not too far. We got it 9. Let's get it to 10, and I'm going to start speaking like more than I am now. I'm going to start speaking to you, my loyal and valued audience. There it is. Oh, whoever hit 10, God bless you and yours. Josh McManus, what's going on? Good to see you. Carlos Martinez, what's going on? Sugar Shane in the crowd. Yes, that's right. Happy B-Day there, Shane. Good to see you. Ray All Day, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Ash, what's up, my dear? Great to see you as always. Eric Jackson in the house. What's going up? Going on? Going down? I don't know. Alma, how are you doing? Alma, good to see you. Hope you're doing better there for sure. Let's see. Will Moore, what's going up? Hot Northeast. Brother, I'm in the hot Southeast. I promise you that. Hoy. My family's well, man. I hope yours is as well. Tim, what's going on? Everything's good here, baby. I got no complaints. Robbie says, to paraphrase Carly Simon, you're so faint. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right. I know who I am. Ash says, getting her hair cut. Oh, you're not getting length cut, are you? Don't be getting length cut. I'm a fan of long hair. You know what I mean? Sorry, I called you Ash. My apologies. You know what I mean? I say let it grow, man. Let it grow. You know what I mean? Why not? Tim, I'm on the threads. I don't do much there. I'm on there, and also 2 Nations Under Ted podcast is there as well. And I think I'm there with 6M as well. Just haven't done much to it. Shane says I'm looking like Bryan Danielson. Interesting. I'll take that. I've been called a lot worse. Josh says his birthday is Wednesday. Oh, there you go. I am on threads there, Tim. I promise you I am. I'm on socials every day, baby. It's my shoot job. It is legitimately my shoot job. It's what I do for a living. It's how I feeds my family, how I pays my bills. Baby, I'm on there. I promise you. I've only got a handful of posts, but I'm definitely on there. I mean, if you were following me on the Instagram, then you're following me on the threads. On the threads. No idea there, Andy, when Randy Orton is coming back. I suspect he will. But I don't have any insider info for you here today. All right. We're going to get cranking here. We got lots to talk about, baby. Lots to talk about. Lots of stuff to get into. Let's get the logo up in the corner so people knows what they's watching. All right. Let's get to it. Last week we previewed a Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. Did you guys watch it? What did you think of the show? I thoroughly enjoyed Death Before Dishonor. I think it was one of the better Ring of Honor shows I've seen. I haven't seen a bad Ring of Honor show ever. Back when it was, not owned by Tony Khan, it was its own company. There were shows that were kind of up and down for me, but I never walked away from any Ring of Honor show going, what was that? It's one of the few companies I can honestly say that about. You know what I mean? Like, what was that? That never really happened to me with ROH. And to be honest with you, Yeah, the show this past Friday night was really good. My nephew came down to stay the weekend, and he and I watched it. I think I was a little bit more into it than he was. He's not not a wrestling fan, but he's not a huge wrestling fan either. I think he was just trying to humor me. I thought he would enjoy it. Tom enjoyed it. So, yeah, no, it's all good. I was trying to get him into it, but it is what it is. Let's talk about this card here, there, kids, and see what you think. Let's see here. Let's see here, boy. Here we go. Pure Rules, or I always get this wrong. Pure Wrestling Rules match. My God. Josh the Goods Woods with the varsity athletes Tony Nese and Ari Daivari and Smart Mark Sterling defeated Hot Sauce Tracy Williams by submission. If you have never been impressed by Tracy Williams and or Josh Woods, I feel really bad for you. These guys were excellent workers as a tag team from before in Ring of Honor and as competitors, and they still are now. They're excellent. And this didn't prove it to you. Nothing will. Action Andretti and Darius Martin defeated the workhorsemen of Anthony Hendry and J.D. Drake by pinfall in a tag team match. Legit Layla Hirsch defeated Trish Adora by submission. And let's don't forget AR Fox, who, by the way, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that this past Wednesday night on the Dynamite show, AR Fox is now a scandalous heel. He's a scoundrel, kids. He's a ne'er-do-well. How often do he do well? Ne'er. That's how often. He's wearing the black hat. He's a heel. He's despicable. He's the villain of the moment. And he has joined the Mogul Embassy next to Swerve Strickland. So there you go. Newest heel on the block. By the way, he and Shane Taylor killed it. Shane Taylor's got hips. Shane Taylor's got some big hips and some big thighs. That dude, how do you pick up Shane Taylor? Even if he jumps for you, how in the world are you going to pick him up? You know what I mean? But Shane's much better than you may give him credit for by looking at him. He's very good. He and Fox had a really good match. To the main show, Gravity defeated. Was Gravity and Commander on the? Yeah, they were on the actual show. Yeah, Gravity and Commander got in the ring and did what they do for 10 minutes. Really good match, highly entertaining, as we all knew it would be. Samoa Joe defeated Dalton Castle with the boys to retain the ROH World Television Championship. That match was excellent. Dalton Castle remains one of the most undervalued, perhaps, but most entertaining guys that you'll ever see in a pro wrestling ring. To be honest, that you'll see ever in any sort of form of entertainment. The guy is that freaking fun, baby. That fun. Let's see here. What's up, Faye? Faye from the Untitled Wrestling Podcast, kids. Go give that show a follow. Great friends of this show. Still haven't had a chance to watch 0 Hour yet. There's a lot to watch, man, right? There's a lot to watch. Faye, how you feel about appearing on camera sometime? You want to be on the main event? I'm down if you are. Let me know. Faye also says Swerve is so good. Swerve is from before he was anybody till now. And I still submit that Swerve Strickland has not been the same since he let go of Shaka Khan. Ain't nobody love me better. Are you kidding me? If you don't know what I'm talking about, kids, go look it up. I didn't mean to go boom on you just now. If you know what I'm talking about, go look it up. It's one of the best entrance themes you've ever heard, and it's so good. And for some reason, it fit him. It just fit him. You know how sometimes things fit? You know the first time you saw Orange Cassidy come out to Jefferson Airplane, remember? And you're like, it's Jane. Wait a minute. Who is this? Oh, that's good. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just fits. It's hard to explain why, but it just fits. It just fits. Rick Thibodeau pointing out the monstrosity that is the beard. Yes, sir. It is enormous. And it's getting worse. I got to take care of it. I'm not one of those guys that can do this. You know what I mean? I hate it. Those dudes walk around looking like they're Amish or whatnot. I don't know how you do it. And like they have the perfectly like really short hair, but the beard that's like taken over. It's got its own zip code. Listen, to each his own. I'm not going to judge too much. But I don't know how you do it. How does a woman kiss you with that face? How does a dude kiss you? Hey, it's 2023. I don't judge. But like, I can't imagine. I can't, Dude, I know it's too late. And when it gets in my mouth, like when I can feel it like around the corner, I can't stand it. Why am I still talking about this? Because we're talking about a bunch of big, hairy dudes slapping into each other. It's a pro wrestling, baby. You kidding me? You know what you're watching. Shut up. You know. Aussie Open. Aussie. There it is. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. Kyle Fletcher coming back. Should have had more of an oomph and impact. And it did to a certain extent, right? But to be honest with you, I love the guy. He and Mark and Kyle Fletcher, are a great tag team. They are your new ROH World Tag Team Champions after defeating the Lucha Bros, the Kingdom, and Best Friends in a 17 minutes worth of a fun freaking match. I love Aussie Open. They got unfinished business in Japan. Can't wait to see what happens there. The Mogul Embassy, Brian Cage, Bishop Khan, and Toleona with Prince Nana defeated Leon Ruffin and 6 or 9, Master Wato and Ryusuke Taguchi by pinfall. 6-man tag team match for ROH World 6-man tag team championship. Are we looking at one of the most dominant 6-man tag teams in the history of the business? I know what you're thinking, Tom. That's the history goes back a long time. How about modern history on it? Remember how long the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes held the NWA World 6-man tag team championships? It was like years. I'm not kidding. The title reign was insane. I would suspect not mostly, but a big reason for that was because it wasn't defended too awful much. But they had a stranglehold in those titles, man. You could throw the Fabulous Freebirds in there with various different championships, but I'm just thinking about the most dominating champions of all time for the 6-man category. I mean, honestly, you've got to say, if we're calling it what it is, the Mogul Embassy has got to be up there, right? It's got to be up there. Katsuyori Shibata, the wrestler, defeated Daniel Garcia, the dancer. Look, I don't care. It's fine. I'm not complaining. It is what it is. But this dance and stuff that, that's why he does it. It gets over. People loves it. How long did the homebug? That's an excellent question. I don't know. You know what? Since we're here, we may as well just find out. This is why I need a stat guy. I need Stat Boy. Anybody ever watch Pardon the Interruption? Remember Stat Boy? None of you? Okay. Let's see here. This moment of nonsensical singing brought to you by your friends at Tom Carr's Main Event. All right. Let's see. World Trios Championships. You know who the current dudes are there, don't you? You know you do. The House O Black. The Elite's reign, let's see, lasted 53 days. The House of Black's reign has lasted 144 days. Well, shut up. Death Triangle was 126 days. How you like that? Oh, my God. Alma says Von Erich's the 86-man tag team, Mount Rushmore, Freebirds, Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes, the Russians. Yeah, the Russians for sure, yeah. Stat Boy did get his own show, Around the Horn, yeah. Shane says Tom is the reason why Don Castle doesn't get over on the big shows because of his gimmick. No. Agent Street got over in Memphis, but I don't think he ever went to WWE. Answer is no. I don't believe so. And I think he gets over fine. When you say get over, do you mean win? Because I think he's over fine on the AEW's main shows. I don't think I've ever seen him not have an impact. I don't think it's got anything to do with his gimmick. He's so good. He is so good, dude. And Dalton's good in the ring. And the gimmick thing, honestly, even if he didn't have that gimmick, he'd be good in the ring. But the gimmick, in addition to what he can do in the ring, it just makes him special. It really does make him special. Dalton is so good. Dalton and the boys, if you've never seen that act live, it's so good. So good. Hey, man. Yeah. My son's good there, Ray. I was looking at your other comment. Cage Big Bill. Yeah, I mean, what do you think about that tag team that may be happening? What do you think about that? Dion says, tick tock, tick tick. We're here. Bray Wyatt is coming. Yeah, we'll see. I love Bray. Always have. Recently just had the anniversary of them coming to Raw as the Wyatt family. I forget how many years ago it was. 7 or 8. It was some crazy number that I didn't realize it had been that long. Look, I love Bray, but I want to see Bray back in the hat and the Hawaiian shirt, and I want to see a Wyatt family. And I know what you're thinking, Tom, but Brody Lee's not there. I get it, and that's a shame. But at the same time, I think you could make this work with other guys, and it doesn't. You just call them the family, or just call it the family instead of the Wyatt family. Do whatever you want to do, but I don't know. I think that was when he was at his best. And look, shout out to Jay, Untitled Wrestling Pod. And I think, Faye, you were on the show when he made this comparison. Excellent comparison, by the way he put it into words. But I think Vincent with the Righteous is a much more dialed down version of Bray, but that character is much better realized, more fully fleshed out. You can always say Bray's character is more layered and textured, and that's fine. But Vincent's character is not as intense, perhaps. But if you want to bullet down to basics of what Bray should be, perhaps, in my opinion, it's Vincent. Vincent's great. I love me some Vincent. I loved him from before. You know what I mean? Tim says, love Era Fox is great, whatever he does. Whatever he does. Oh, wow. Okay, there you go, Faye. Humbugs held them for 201 days as RH trios. Yeah, I kind of forgot about them as well. I mean, we started off with the Kingdom, or not Kingdom, but the Embassy, but you know what I mean. Let's see here. What else? We were talking about Shibata and Garcia. My God in heaven. Shibata retained the Pure Wrestling Rules. Oh my God, I'm never going to get this right. The RH Pure Championship. Why do I keep screwing that up? In the Pure Wrestling, listen, it should be the Pure Rules Wrestling match. You know why? Because it makes life easier for me. Let me call up that Tony Khan dude and say, look, dude, you change this for me? It's ridiculous. What are we doing here? Pure Wrestling Rules match. Once again, Shibata and Garcia kill it. It's a really, really good match. Shibata's taking this Pure Championship thing seriously, man. Supposedly he's really wanting to do something with it, and good on him. I love that guy so much. Thank goodness he's healthy and back. Good on him. Love it. The match of the night, in my opinion, is the Dark Order versus the Righteous. That's right, kids. Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver defeated Stu Grayson and the Righteous of Vincent and Dutch by pinfall in a fight without honor. Excellent match. I was a fan of this all the way through. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. If you didn't like this match, there's something wrong with you. Jamel in Vegas, no worries. Good to see you. I love the Pure Rules as well. I had to be in the right mood for them. I don't know if I could do a full card of Pure Rules wrestling match. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not a fan, okay? But could I do 6 matches in a row? Maybe. Let's see. Faye says, I think the Righteous are killing it. Agreed. Vincent is spot on. Dion says, Tom, I agree. Bray Wyatt kind of went down during the... Oh, yeah. Listen, remember that match? Was it Hell in a Cell? Saudi Arabia? When Seth's hitting him in the head and stuff and he just no-sells it? Come on. You can do some of that. You can't do all that. Yes, very happy for Drake there, Ray. Very happy for Drake. He's earned it. He's absolutely earned it. Dion says, what do you think of a rated RKO bro faction? I'm not a big Matt Riddle guy. No disrespect to the dude. I'm just not a big fan. That's just me. You know what I mean? I don't have to be either, right? I'm just saying I'm not especially a big fan of Riddle. As I said, no disrespect. It's a personal taste thing. I always wish him well and hope that, he's healthy and killing it and making some money. I wish that for anybody, but there's some stuff off camera with him that, things that happened that kind of soured me on him. And, again, I don't mean any disrespect toward anybody, but it's like, bah. Right. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. I love Orton. I always have. Tim says anyone who's interested in HBK was on SA Live earlier today talking about NXT. Oh, there you go. There you go. Cool. Faye says, I'd love for Danny to win. My dream is to have a tag team match where it's Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. I think that Nigel's coming back. Nigel's looking pretty big and bulky for a dude what sits at ringside and calls matches. I think he's working out. I think he'll be cleared, and I think they're waiting for Danielson. So I agree with that. So, yeah. But yeah, the Dark Order versus the Righteous was a fun match. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Fight without honor. 16 minutes for this match. And it wasn't the longest match on the card either. The next match, Claudio Castagnoli defeated Pac to retain the ROH World Championship. See how easy that was? ROH World Championship in a singles match. It wasn't a pure wrestling rules, ROH pure. It's too wordy. It's too much work. I don't have time for that. Good match. Claudio's the man. Claudio's always been the man. Excellent. Pac is a freaking stone cold killer. Pac's scary. Pac came at me in a dark alley. You know that old saying like the dark alley? Who's hanging out in dark alleys? Maybe you shouldn't be hanging out in dark alleys in the first place. I'd run, or I'd attempt to. He'd catch me. He's in better shape. But I'd make an effort to get away from him. Believe that. In your main event, Athena retained the ROH Women's World Championship. I did not see that coming. Submitted Willow Nightingale. I did not see that coming. Willow didn't need to beat her. It wasn't a I must win situation, in my opinion. It didn't hurt her in the slightest. She had a great showing against a dominant champion. That's the truth. So, yeah. She's still your champ. Excellent card. Again, if you didn't see it, boy, did you miss out. Shame on you. Excellent show. Faye says Claudio is so good. It was great seeing Pac back. I like that. Rob says, here's a thought might be outside the box. Abyss and Impact started as a psycho character, then branched out to a suit wearing a lawyer type. Break it to shave his face, put on a suit, and go full 360 as someone who could hand out pink slips on violate certain rules, and then show his wrestling prowess in the ring. So there's a couple things with this there, Rob. One, and you've made the mistake that I've made in the past as well. 360 suggests you go right back to where you were. So 180. Hey, I've done that before. It's a habit to get into. Isn't that terrible? I call you out. I'm not trying to call you out. The second part of this is Bray Wyatt and the words wrestling prowess. I love Bray. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Bray's got any fear of being accused of being Ricky Steamboat anytime soon. And again, no disrespect to that dude, because I loves me some Bray Wyatt. I don't hate your idea at all. I think anything could work. And I think Bray's talented enough to make anything work. It'd be interesting to see what would happen. Charlotte, what's going on? Crazy time, has it been? I bet I've had a long week. We're doing well. I hope you and yours are as well. It's been a busy week, actually. Faye says Athena and Willa are easy candidates for us. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Just think if Mercedes Moné doesn't go down that match, does Willow get what she's getting now? I would suspect she would have, but just maybe not this quickly. Maybe another month or two down the road, she would have gotten to this point. You know what I mean? But that's just me talking. But I totally agree with you. Ray says his pack of tweener couldn't tell what's up with him. That's an excellent question. I suspect he's whatever he wants to be. He could work as whatever, but God, he's so sinister. He's just so incredibly sinister, dude. Dion says, who wins Ray versus Escobar? Now, I don't know, my friend. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. I'll say Ray. Tim says, I look exactly. Another Danielson comparison. Who will finally beat Athena? My easy answer is Mercedes Moné. However, that means that we'd be handing Mercedes Moné the ROH Women's World Championship and not the AEW Women's World Championship. However, well, you talk about elevating that title. Well, that would do it. Not that Athena's not. You get me, right? But, like, that would do it. Yeah, that would do it. Marie, what is up? You're going to Collision next week. Excellent. Excellent. Good to see you. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about you lately. I've been meaning to reach out to you and your partner in crime to see if we could hook something up. You know what's terrible is that I helped Peaches and Power Bombs. I didn't help them. I inspired them, perhaps. But, like, they'll hit me all the time to appear on their show. And 9 times out of 10, I can't. I just legitimately can't. Most of the time, it's on night when I'm already recording a show. So I feel terrible. We're going to have to hook something up. Someone says, what do I think about the dogging of the AEW's women's division booking? I think these things have hills and valleys. I think they just go up and down. And, you know, I do think that there is potential for something rough to happen with that division and that company. But I hopefully cooler heads will prevail and they'll get themselves back on track. It wouldn't take much. They just have to refocus. You know what I mean? They still have some amazingly talented women there. They just got to refocus. I don't think nothing's over. Nothing's over. Nothing is too far gone. Nothing in that company is too far gone, in my opinion. Yeah, a couple more things here before we move on. Tim says, I wonder Willow's going to be only on Collision because she says she doesn't mind wrestling on that show. Why would she mind wrestling on that show? Collision needs to be, well, Tom, it's the B show. Okay, cool. It needs to be a strong B show. It needs to be a strong number 2. Right? I'm not talking about ratings. I'm so past ratings. You guys know I used to give you the ratings here on the show. I don't do that anymore because I just don't know how much it matters anymore. You know what I mean? Whether AEW is hitting 1 million or not, I don't really care. I care that they're profitable. Are they profitable? From everything I've seen, heard, read, and been told, they generate a profit. That's how you stay in business, is to generate a profit. Yes? If they don't generate a profit, they're no longer in business. I don't care what company that is. It's Vince's company. It's whatever. At some point, you have to generate a profit. You have to take in more than you spend. It's simple economics, my friends, right? And from everything I understand, AEW makes money. Faye, excellent point. So many of us stream and is not counting the ratings. Excellent point. My thoughts on Rhea smashing Liv Morgan's arm. Rhea is the queen. Rhea Ripley is the man. It's a shame Becky has that nickname. Rhea Ripley is the real deal. I love me some Rhea Ripley. Sandy in Germany, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Let's go down a few other things here. We're already at 36 minutes. Are you kidding me? Wow, this day just flies by, baby. All right. You guys know a couple things with this MJF versus Adam Cole situation. You know a couple things. One, they ain't friends. All right. They ain't friends. They ain't friends. They ain't buddies. They ain't pals. They're enemies. You want to know why? MJF has something Adam Cole wants. Adam Cole has not forgotten about that. This tag team, let's be best friends forever nonsense was not Cole's idea. It was MJF's idea. Why? Because MJF is suckering in the guy that nearly beat him, that could probably beat him with a second attempt. It's very basic heel psychology. It's very basic MJF psychology. We all expect MJF to turn on Adam Cole. I don't suspect that will happen. I believe Cole is going to turn on MJF first, and that will be the end of that team. And I think Cole could actually cost them the tag team belts. But here's the question I have for all of you. Okay. Who does it baby out? What if it babies out Max? You know what the answer to that is? The quick answer? It won't matter. Max will not stay baby. He'll stay baby for 10 minutes and he'll change him back. I mean, legitimately, just set your clocks. Check your phone. Watch the time. 10 minutes, he's back heel. It won't make a difference. What you hope for is a really good story to be told. Despite how they end up at the end, you hope for a really good story to be told. Max tells him backstage this week, when all this tag team nonsense or stuff is over, you get a rematch. You get a rematch for the tag team champ or for the world championship. I'll get it. I'm getting some serious compliments on the beard, man. Are you kidding? It's nice. Jamel says, it better not beat FTR. That would suck. Here's why I agree with you, Jamel in Vegas. Here's why I agree with you. Because where does it go then? It's not unsalvageable. FTR can get the belts back in a month. It's not like they can't just get it right back. But where's it going? I don't personally believe the belts need to change hands for the turn to happen. I think the turn will happen in that match, honestly. And I think it will be at the moment they're getting ready to win the titles that Adam Cole super kicks MJF, and that'll be the end of it. That's what I feel. That's what I think. And I think that's what we're going to see. That's me. Hey, look. I'm not curing cancer here, kids. This is nothing you haven't seen before. And plus, it's just one guy's opinion. Chris with a K. Locked out of his Facebook page, had to change his password. That's happened before. You want to know what sucks about Web 2? I'll tell you. You ask me, I'll tell you. They own everything. You know all the pictures of your kids and your wife and your wife's kids and their kids and so on and so forth. Facebook could shut you down today. You lose all of it. All of it. You know, your business page, shut down all of it. All your customers, all your contacts, gone. Gone. And you can't stop it. You can't do anything. They own it. They own everything you put on their platform. This show that you're watching, they could pull the plug right now if they wanted to and not give me a reason. And I wouldn't be able to reach anyone by email or by telephone at all. Forget that. And I would be done. They wouldn't have to tell me why. They're not obligated to tell me anything. It's their platform. It's their content. They can do whatever they want to do with it. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's how it is. You guys know. What am I telling you guys? Well, you guys know that. We need true decentralized social media. And until we get it, we're going to keep having problems like that. That other platform that used to have the blue bird, now it's got a black X. Shut up. Shut up. They own everything. It's all theirs. It's all theirs. Chris with a K says it's hot in Iowa. Baby, it's hot everywhere. People in Alaska are going, I can't take the heat anymore. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, it's been insanely hot here as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Cole and MJF, but that is my prediction. The G1 Climax. Who in here is watching the G1 Climax? Baby, we've had 9 nights of some top-tier wrestling. Some matches have been some have been really, really good. I don't know if I have a favorite night, but night number 9 was pretty darn fun. Pretty darn fun. I'm not kidding you. Dude, there's 12 nights of the G1. Is that it? Are we already? Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me right now. That can't be all. No, that's not all. So, night number 9, Will Ospreay defeated Kazuchika Okada with like 4 seconds left to go. They were counting the match down, and he got the pin. I was like, oh my God, he beat Okada in 20 minutes or in 19.56, which is insane. Really, really good match. Kaito Kiyomiya versus Gabe Kidd ended a double count out. Kiyomiya, boy, they're giving this kid a lot. for someone that's not, New Japan talent. He's a Pro Wrestling Noah. Give him a lot, in my opinion. Shota Umino, Shooter, defeated Chase Owens. Tai Chi defeated Yoshihashi. By the way, everybody, stop sleeping on Yoshihashi. I'm going to start putting out a Yoshihashi appreciation post every week to remind people to stop sleeping on Yoshihashi. The dude does nothing but turn in one great performance after another. I'm not saying Okada level, but he's solid. He always delivers. His stuff looks good. When he lays in, brother, it looks good. When's the last time Yoshihashi had a match where you're like, that looked weak? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Faye's going to Japan December. Oh, man, that's so cool. If you got to go see that, that'd be great. Japan is my dream vacation. Dream vacation. Jeffrey says, I live in Denver, Colorado, but the first part of spring and summer, I swear, we were living in Seattle. And the second part, North Carolina is the same way. We'll have like 90 to 5 degree weather, like 6 days in a row. And then we'll have rain so fierce that it's like, tearing trees down and pummeling through the glass on your cars. And if it hits a stray dog, it like shoots through them like bullets. And there's like holy animals left dead, carcasses all over the side of the road. It's mayhem, chaos. It's not that bad. But the point is the rain will just be like, where'd this come from? You know what I mean? Why does it sound like Armageddon outside? Like they're dropping bombs on the ceiling of this place. On the roof. It's insane. That's North Carolina, baby. It's how we roll here. It's how we roll. Faye says Eddie versus Ishii. Oh, so good. So good. Eddie and Ishii was night number 8. July 26th. Ishii and Kingston. Excellent match. 16 minutes. And by the way, they were just 4 seconds shy of the main event for being the longest match of the night. How you like that? Who? Shut up. Crazy. Yeah, there's been some standouts here, man. There's been some true standouts. Sonata and Ren Narita put on a really good match on night number 9. Sonata looked great. Sonata needs to look great. He is the world champion in that company. He needs to look great all the time. I don't care who he's working. I don't care if it's a tag team match. Sonata, your world champ needs to be protected at all times. He should never look like he's just barely getting a win. The night that Kiyomiya faced him, it's a 20-minute match. They went 19 minutes, 58 seconds. And Sonata just barely beat this kid. I'm thinking, what? That's a questionable booking in my opinion. Because you're basically telling me that had this been a world title match, we may have had a new world champion. I got kind of a problem with that. Hey, man. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm just telling you like I see it. Phantasma's been turning in some great work here as well. Anyway, if you're not watching the G1, as I told you before, give it a chance. If you don't have New Japan World, baby, it's $10 a month. Get it for 1 month and watch all the backlog of content that you can. Then cancel the subscription, baby. You'll thank me. I promise you, you'll thank me for it. It's such a great streamer, man. That's one of those streamers, if I ever start really, really cutting the budget to the point of no return, that's one that I will not cancel is New Japan World. I promise you that. There you go. Roosh has signed a new contract. Oh, my goodness. Roosh going to be kicking in people's heads for I don't know how many years. Multi-year, apparently. And the rumor is an insane amount of money. Well, how do you like that? I love Roosh, dude. I love Roosh. A motivated Roosh can be the biggest star in your locker room on any given night. And listen, that's a big company with some very talented guys. But you know what I think I'd do? Can I be honest with you? I love Claudio. I'd put him over on Claudio. That's me talking. If you really want to listen, I don't especially love the LFI thing they do with him in AEW. It's okay. It's fine. Honestly, I'd pit them against BCC and have them take that belt from Claudio. Imagine a motivated, insanely crazy Roosh as a babyface, kicking heads in. Listen, he's the kind of guy they'd like to have in the BCC, right? He kicks heads in, number one. Number two, he's unpredictable. Number three, he don't give an F at all. 0 F's given on anything, right? Hey, man, what I'm telling you right now is that there are options. There are options with Roosh. You don't have to pigeonhole him as, he's the star from Mexico. It doesn't make a difference. Roosh transcends where he's from at this point. He has for a long time. It doesn't matter where he's from. Roosh is his own man, and he can do whatever you need him to do. Excellent. Excellent. Faye says, ELP is so good. I was so sad that we had Jay White without ELP. Same. But honestly, the Guns have goofy ELP energy. Yeah. Oh, Juice Robinson. Listen, if they could bottle Juice Robinson and you could sell that to people, well, you'd be turning people into gremlins. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's, crazy. I told this story before that was at this when New Japan came to the States. We were at a show, and Juice, when he still had the dreads before he joined Bullet Club and turned heel, he was in the main event, and I forget who he worked, but after the match, and the show's over, he went around all four sides of the ring. He shook hands and took pictures with every single person that stopped him. And we had guys coming from the back where the bleachers are in the building up to the railing to get a picture and or autograph. Every single person. I bet you he spent 30, 40 minutes going around the ring. I'm not kidding. He was the last guy out of the fans were leaving before he was. I'll never forget that. The guys, and it doesn't matter. The baby face, I don't care about that baby face. It doesn't matter to me. But what matters is that you see that the guys are like, hey man, I was a fan too. You know what I mean? Like you can tell when guys' hearts are truly in it, you can just tell. Sandy, we've been thinking about Mustafa Ali having his. Can you believe this guy's not held a title in that company? It's a crime, is what it is. It's a crime, is what it is. It's a shame. It's a shame. My nose is itchy. You know what that means? You know what that means? You know what they say? You got to scratch it. Actually, what it means is somebody's coming. What's up, Brad? Brad says, good afternoon from Minnesota. Andrade is copying Charlotte's move. I don't know if I call that pathetic. I mean, they're together. I would say she told him it was fine. I think I kind of like the wink and a nod to it. If she did something that he does, you know what I mean? I'd be okay with that too. I get where you're coming from, but like, I don't know if I call it pathetic. Andrade's very good. He was good in the other company too. They just didn't know what they were doing with him. They just didn't know. Robbie said taking off the boots by Billy Gunn and let them in the ring. The sign like others have done, but it means retirement. Supposedly that's what they're saying. Billy Gunn's in better shape than your daddy is. He's in better shape than a lot of the younger wrestlers are. Let's be honest. Billy Gunn has the kind of body that a 20-year-old getting this business is trying to get. You know what I mean? He looks great, but you know what? I'm sure he's beat up. I'm sure there's days that, for veterans of this business, you deal with pain for the rest of your life. For some veterans, it's chronic pain. For others, it just comes and goes. On a Monday, you'll be okay. On that Wednesday, my neck's locked up. It happens. You know what I mean? And most of these guys and women have learned how to manage their pain, hopefully through legal means, yes, and through means that are not going to hurt them in the long run. But it's all about managing your pain and trying to have a normal life once you leave. If it's Billy's time and he's good with it, then he should stop working if that's what he wants to do. Hopefully no one's putting him in that direction. I don't think they would be in that company. In the other company, yes, they're going to encourage you to stop. They did it with Rick. They do it with anybody they wanted to because it's their call. But like an AEW, I believe it's your call when you want to stop. Unless you're just hurting people or hurting yourself. You know what I mean? Which Billy Gunn is far from doing anything like that. Far from doing anything like that, right? A couple more things before we take it home and open the floor. The numbers for All In, this is interesting. Right now, there are 76,929 tickets distributed. And around of those, 70,400 are paid tickets for a gate of around $9 million. That's U.S. Currency to you kids. So there you go. They're doing quite well there in that country that we call England. Good for them. Good for them. Also worth mentioning that, let's see, SummerSlam, 45,971 tickets are out for the event. Yeah, it's going to be supposedly one of the biggest SummerSlams in recent memory. And guess what? Good for them. Love to hear it. I love to hear companies making money and companies who are succeeding, because that means the talent, with any luck, is getting compensated for their work fairly and getting what they have earned. And I'm all for that. Let's talk about the Iron Claw very quickly if we can. This is going to be something. It'll be something to see. I don't know how I feel about it. I've seen the cast. You know, look, you're only going to be able to look so much like the guys that you're playing in a film, so I'm not going to get too hung up on that. We know that MJF is in this film, but he is going to play Lance Von Erich, who is not related to the Von Erich family at all. They knew it was a mistake bringing in a cousin of the Von Erichs. They were just trying to reignite that spark. They knew it was a mistake when they did it, and it did not work. It did not work. It was a disaster for them. Let's be honest. If you've seen the group picture, then you've seen what it looks like. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see. As we know, Zac Efron is playing Kevin Von Erich. So there you go. Jeremy Allen White, Harris Dixon, star as well. So there you go. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens, man. I'm very curious. Hopefully this movie does justice. I hope that Kevin Von Erich has been involved from day one. I suspect he has been, but I do not know that for a fact. But hopefully he has been. What's up, Vic? Vic, you are very late, my friend, but it's all good. All right, kids, that's all I got for you. A small related note, Scorpio Sky has been injured. All the best to him. This guy cannot seem to be able to keep his head above water through no fault of his own. Things happen. So I don't mean to overplay it or oversell it and suggest that he's out for a year. It's nothing crazy, I don't believe. But the sooner he gets back, the better. Scorpio Sky is so good. Hate the name. I've always hated the name. It's no disrespect. I'm just not a fan of the name, but I don't have to be. I'll get over it. But I love what he does. He's one of those guys that can only do what he does. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of cookie cutter wrestlers, and I won't mention any in my opinions, right? It's just my takes. There's a lot of cookie cutter wrestlers that you kind of really don't know who you're watching if not for the gear and the hair. Do you know what I mean? Sky's not one of those guys. I think he's fully capable of doing whatever you need him to do. The most valuable talents in a pro wrestling locker room are the ones who can do whatever you need them to do and who are willing to work along with whatever you've got for them. And you have a mission for them. You have something you need them to do. You give it to them, they deliver. That's a valuable pro wrestler. That's a valuable employee, let's be honest, in any walk of life, in any field. That's a valuable employee. Scorpio Sky is valuable. The sooner he gets back, the better. The floor is opened up there, kids. Ray is preparing himself. Alan Holland says, who's my favorite Beatle? Stuart Sutcliffe. It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard one for me. I'm inclined to say John. Robbie beat Ray this time. Look at that. Ray says, here's this week's Who's the Wrestler? All right. Michael Jones. Chris Chavis. That's what they call him in WWE. They used to call him the War Eagle Chris Chavis. Chris Chavis. Tatanka. Mary Lillian Ellison. That's Lillian Garcia, isn't it? Or is that Mary Lillian Ellison? Maybe that's Mae Young. Maybe. Michael Jones. Is that Michael Hayes? Here's Ray's question there, kids. Eric B. and Rakim are Gangstar. You are getting in a rut, my friend. It's all right. I love it. I will go Eric B. and Rakim. Part 2, Ice Cube or Nas. I'll go. What's a tough one? Ice Cube. And if Adam Cole came to your house and invited you and your family to the NBA Hall of Fame, and said, you can bring a friend. Could I join? Yes. And later wanted to get grilled chicken with salad and ice cream. Could I join as well? Yes. Yes, absolutely. All that sounds like a fun day. A fun day. Sugar Shane says, how about 6M about car shows and films such as the Cannonball Run, Smoking the Bandit, Dukes of Hazzard, etc.? So Christopher Ray Patton, who did not tune in today, CRP and I are going to definitely hit Smoking the Bandit. We've actually talked about that in the past couple of weeks. That's something we're definitely going to do. I love the Cannonball Run movies. I grew up with them as a young man, seeing Catherine Bach and I forget who the other girl was in those skin tight coverall jumpsuits. Are you kidding me? Yowza! I'm just saying. Don DeLuise couldn't keep a straight face. The outtakes from the Cannonball Run films were always some of the best parts of the Cannonball Run films. Just fun movies all the way around. I'd love to do the Cannonball Run. I think that'd be great. Sandy says, Merchandise King, LA Knight. I love LA Knight, man. I think that he's doing great. Good on him. Robbie says, Michael Jones is Virgil. I didn't know that. Tatanka I got. And Moolah. I figured. Chris with a K says the wrestling business today is more brutal on the body. I think it depends who you are and what your style is. The bumps are a lot harder. Again, depending on who you are and what your style is. The bumps are not necessarily a lot harder for Katsuyori Shibata, but they are for Darby Allin. You know what I mean? But any bump can be hard, and any bump can be life-threatening. Any bump could take you out of the game forever. And most of the time, these guys are getting hurt on very small moments of a match. Like the guy turned, you saw the Bailey injury. She just planted wrong. You plant your knee wrong, you blow your knee out, you're out 6 months. But like earlier in the night, you took a triple power bomb through 2 flaming tables outside the ring and you're fine. You hurt, but you're not injured. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. You know what I mean? I'm not going to totally disagree with your point. I can see completely why you say this. But I'm just thinking back about back in the day when, you know, you juiced and the other guy has to open you up on camera. And you know what open you up means? 5 of these across your lip. I mean, you know what I mean? Has to open you up and then, oh, you're gushing, right? Steel chairs to the head were allowed all the time. You know what I mean? That's hard on the body, CTE and whatnot. A lot of the old school promotions didn't have padding. I mean, NWA didn't have padding on the floor. I don't think they ever did. I don't think it happened until it became WCW. No padding on the floor. So if you land on the floor, you land on the floor every time. Again, not trying to debate your point there. I think you make a great point, but I do believe it has a lot to do with your style. Mark says, I saw Jeff and he looked horrible recently. Who are you talking about? Jeff Hardy? Who are we talking about? NXT Great American Bash. Sandy, I have not kept up with NXT since they changed the brand. I just haven't. I thought NXT at one time, I knew NXT at one time was the best wrestling on TV. It was. It's the way I felt. I don't so much see that now. Ray says, can you see Strong turn on Cole and join him? He could, but does Strong appear, not to you, Ray, but does Strong appear to anybody here as being a lackey? Maybe. It could happen. Or I think Roddy and Cole's been playing MJF this whole time is what I believe. Ray, I promise you, I keep telling you this, we're going to do Luke Cage. Please be patient with me. I got to find a spot on the counter that works. There's only certain days of the week that I actually record because I'm busy with my job all the time. So I have to keep these things in mind. But I have not forgot about you. I promise. What's up, Wilf? You're here at the very end. Susan Anton was the other girl. Thank you, Jeffrey. Who was it in number 1? Catherine Bach wasn't in the first one, was she? Daisy Duke? I think she was just in the second one. It seemed like they would just change the girls out. I think they would change the girls out. I'm going to look those up now that I think about it. Renato Ramirez Rodriguez. Just when you think you're done with his name, think again. Still the best name. I'm still plain old Tom Clark, Renato. How you doing, my friend? If anyone here has not liked the program, I'm at 19. Give me a 20. Somebody hit that, smash that like button. Give me the 20 I've been begging for an hour. That'd be awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. HOB and Andrade said they enjoyed being on Collision. The locker room is so much different from Dynamite. I wonder what they mean by that. The 21, thank you, kids. Do they mean that Dynamite has more pressure? Punk's in that other locker room. And people kind of thought it was going to be the other way around, right? That Collision would be the harder locker room. That's an interesting take. Hey, look, you know what I care about? I care about that they're happy and want to be in that company. I'd like them to be happy. If they wanted to leave when their contracts were up, go with God. Go work wherever you want to work. But I'm just trying to, again, you left the one company because you weren't happy, because they weren't doing right by you, or you weren't getting what you thought you could do. You weren't doing what you thought you could do because you weren't given opportunity. So you go to a company that gives you spotlight, puts belt on you, gets you on TV every week. You may not win every single match, but who can, right? But like you get a ton of spotlight. You're getting an opportunity. You're showcased as the top guy. Why in the world would you ever want to go back to that other company that didn't give you a shot? It just doesn't, right? I don't know. I can't speak for anybody. It's not my career. Mark said Jeff Hardy's missing spots and hard to twist a fit. Yeah. I love Jeff, but I have to say I agree with you to a certain extent. I do. I just want to see him be healthy, whether that means he's a wrestler or not. Let's see. Do you think JUC will win at SummerSlam? No, sir, I do not. I think anything can happen. I think anything's possible. But I personally don't believe he's winning. I don't think Jey Uso is your world champion. I think Cody Rhodes is. Is Sami Zayn? I love Jay. I love Sammy. That's a hard one, Sandy, good to see you, my friend, as always. Take care. Tennessee says, I'm trying to say there are no egos. Oh, baby, there's always egos in the locker room. Don't let anybody fool you, Tim. Don't let anybody fool you. There's just as many egos in the Collision locker room as there are the Dynamite locker room. I promise you that. It's just that there are low key and they're more intense. There's different levels. You know what I mean? There's definitely egos. You have to have an ego to be a pro wrestler. It doesn't, and people confuse ego with stepping on others. It doesn't mean you step on others, but you have to believe that you are highly capable of having the best match on the card, or at least that you're going to give your maximum effort to have the best match on the card. Listen, I don't care if you're wrestling in the high school gym down the street or in the Tokyo Dome. If you don't believe that when you step through those curtains, you're going to give fans something they're going to remember the next day, you have no business being there. And that requires some ego. A healthy amount of ego is perfectly fine. Oh, Jeff, you done brung it home. Thank you, my friend. That was Farrah. Well done. Farrah Fawcett wasn't the first Cannonball Run movie. She was the hottest woman on the planet at one time, my friends. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. When I was a kid, I had the Farrah Fawcett poster on my wall in the red bikini. Gorgeous. Jamel said, I don't think Cody will ever be world champ with that company as long as the company that he started. No, I disagree, Jamel. I disagree with you because the Cody Rhodes you see today is not the Cody Rhodes that was in AEW. They're not done destroying him yet. They're probably going to do something else to him, and they're stretching the time till Mania next year, in my opinion. I believe they're going to put the belt on him, but they're not going to put it on the AEW version of Cody Rhodes. They're going to want to put him on their version of Cody Rhodes. Because right now, you're right. When people look at him, they see AEW. Truth of the matter is that company doesn't want that. They want him to be their version of what they think Cody Rhodes should be. So there you go. I agree with you, Jeff. Everybody had the Pharaoh poster. It's 5:07. We're at the top of the hour, kids. We're going to take a few more that we're going to take it home. Has anyone else got anything for me here? Anything good? Faye, from your lips to the ears of God. Yeah, for Seth to defeat Roman. I was just talking to Phil Lindsay. Shout out to Phil Lindsay, by the way. We just talked about this. We did 6 a.m. Wednesday night. We covered Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Fun movie. So we were talking about Seth quite a bit. Listen, Phil is extremely passionate about Seth Rollins, and I have no issue with that at all. He makes a great case for Seth Rollins being world champ and why it won't be world champ as long as Roman's in that company. And I tend to agree. Shane says, Cannonball Run, Washington's birthday. Mel Tillis and Terry Bradshaw. That's right. Mel Tillis, and his gimmick was that he stuttered all the time. Now I'm going to find Cannonball Run. You guys have inspired me. Chris with the K, thank you for hanging out, my friend. Jeff says they will not let Seth beat Roman until Seth drops his belt. They won't let Seth beat Roman anyway. Listen, Seth can beat Roman anytime they wanted to beat Roman, but if he doesn't beat Roman for those titles, it means nothing. Well, it doesn't mean nothing, but it doesn't mean as much. You know what I think? You guys want to know what I think? I'm glad you asked. I think when Jon Moxley left, it screwed everything up. So you know what the moral of the story here is, kids? Keep your talents happy. Don't give them dumb stuff to do. I'm wearing a gas mask because I'm going to get an injection because the people of this town have diseases and they're stinky and smelly. What? Oh, my God. I'll never forget that. That was some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of stuff. That's some of the worst stuff I've ever seen. I want you to just, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I want you to imagine what life would have been like had Mox stayed in that company as Dean Ambrose. You would have gotten more of the same. They would have continued to devalue him every chance they got. They would have continued to put him in weird, dumb situations where he looked like a doofus. Look what we have now. Jon Moxley's Terry Funk now. A guy who can work, a guy who knows how to get over, but a guy who knows how to get other people over as well. He's Terry Funk now. I don't know if he could take another compliment that well. I mean, honestly, that's how I feel. Renata says they said The Rock was going to show up in SummerSlam because of Grayson Waller talking smack on Twitter. Renata, let me ask you something there, my friend. Do you think The Rock comes back for Grayson Waller? No disrespect to this Grayson Waller kid, but if you're going to have The Rock come in and you know, he comes in on Bray Wyatt, he comes in on The Miz, maybe, you know, he comes in on Roman, but Grayson Waller, I'm not saying about you, but the rumor, I've seen the rumor. I'd say let's squash that rumor. Now, if it happens, don't nobody be getting mad at me. I'm just telling you what I think. But me personally, I don't know how you would book The Rock for a Grayson Waller. Jeff says dumbest thing that he ever did was messing up. Well, he gave them opportunities. Listen, Jericho had the same story that Jon Moxley did, that CM Punk did, that a lot of guys had. That, you know, like, why aren't you listening? Just listen? Just listen. Don't dismiss me. Just listen. I can do a lot more than what you're giving me to do. And look, at the end of the day, it's a business. And if you don't want to listen, then I'll just be on my way. If you think that I'm not valuable enough to get your attention, to get in front of you with what I have to say, if you believe that I'm not worth your time, then I need to move on and move on with my life. I will find another company that believes I am worth it. I believe that right now with myself and my line of work. And it's no disrespect to anyone. I've been like this my whole adult life, to be honest with you, since the day I got my first job. If you don't believe I'm valuable, then I will, unfortunately, though I don't want to, I need to be respected, need to be valued. These guys are no different than anyone punching a clock, man. That's the truth. Faye says, prime example of Moxley putting people over. Him tapping the Hangman wasn't planned. He was meant to pass out, but he just thought it would be great to see people lose their minds if he tapped. See, that's a great example, Faye, of what I'm talking about. This guy knows how to put other people over. He knows how to put other people over. Does anyone believe that him surrendering on behalf of Wheeler Yuta didn't help Wheeler Yuta in the long run? Because you can play that clip back for 20 years and say, Wheeler never tapped. Wheeler didn't give up. Wheeler didn't surrender. Moxley did it for him because he didn't want Wheeler to be dead. You know what I mean? Because he saw, we sharpened this kid to a blunt. He's a blunt object. We've sharpened him up to a deadly spear. He'll never say die because we trained him not to. Mox did that. See what I'm saying? They just could have told Wheeler, just tap out. You'll be fine. You'll recover. Didn't do that because it defeats what you've done over the past calendar year with building him up to where he is now. I'm just saying. And look, when someone is successful, it elevates everyone around him. That's why you put other people around a successful star. You put people in that guy's orbit so he can elevate them as well. And you can have storylines that branch off from that one guy. You do it. The best promotions know how to do it with the top guys. It's been done like that for years. All right, I've got to get out of here. It's 5:13. Couple more and I'm gone. I love talking to you guys. I love talking. What are you talking about licensed contractors, Mark? You talking about in AEW, they're employees of All Elite Wrestling. In WWE, they are licensed contractors. They're independent contractors who are licensed. They're listed as contractors for that company. In AEW, they are listed as employees, to my understanding. That's how they're listed in All Elite Wrestling. Faye says, I think it was brilliant because it shows that Yuta is a monster of BCC's own making. 100%. Yeah, the wrestlers in AEW, to what I understand, they are listed as employees of All Elite Wrestling. They're not listed as independent contractors. WWE, they are, because that's how Vince gets around a lot of things, like having to pay him health insurance in retirement. No health insurance, no retirement. That's what he does. Jeff, thanks for hanging out, my friend. I appreciate you. Well, guess what, kids? It is 5:14. I'm getting on up out of here. Thank you so much for watching Tom Clark's Main Event. Remember, you can subscribe to this show on all the major platforms in audio form. It goes out on audio as soon as the video is up, and as soon as we're done, I start working on audio, post it, you're done. Bob's your uncle. It's in your feed. You're good to go. So don't forget about that. Tom Clark's 6M podcast, movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. Please subscribe, please, and thank you. Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast coming your way, premiering August 12th. If you're a Ted Lasso fan, you can't afford to miss this. I promise you we've made it fun. I promise you we've made it entertaining. I promise you you're going to get heart out of this show. Nothing's done, half-hearted, I swear to you. We're going to make it worth your while. Subscribe to Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. I cannot freaking wait to get going. It's so much work, but it's so worth it. We'll have the first season 1's 10 episodes. The last 2 seasons are a total of 24 episodes. Long way to go and a short time to get there. Eastbound and down. I'm just saying, there's where we are. All right, kids. I've checked lately when I go to mix the show, and I'll try to wish everybody a great weekend over the music at the end. I've noticed that's not been working. I enjoy doing it, but for some reason, it's not picking up. Isn't that dumb? Yes, it is. So I'm going to try it again today, and I'm going to try something different. So I'm going to play it back after we're done here and see if it took. Hopefully it did, because I like doing it. I don't want to change it, but I got to be sure it works, right? Look, thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you very much. Kids, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you back in a week. See you next time, kids. Appreciate you. Good night, Facebook.